the idea that little Bill Maher from Rivervale, New Jersey, just a humble kid from the suburbs, was invited for a private dinner to the White House. You glide right past that to how dare you talk to him, and that you're not impressed by it at all. I'm impressed by it a lot. I'm impressed the fuck out of it.
People on TV suggest that he hadn't been shot at and that the bullet didn't hit him. This was crazy. Where is your decency? He doesn't deserve decency. Who the fuck are you to say he doesn't deserve decency?
That's exactly why I have the issues I have with the left. That fucking attitude. That fucking bad attitude.
So Chris Cuomo was just on Bill Maher's podcast. Now, I don't know how far in advance they filmed these. This was definitely filmed before he went to speak with Trump. As you will see, there's a clip there they talk about that in the video. So let's get into it. And the first clip that we're going to watch is them talking about Representative Jasmine Crocket. Let's get it.
There's a crippled character on you know, Joe the cop.
Yeah.
And they make 1,000 jokes about it.
But he's a comic.
But it just shows you that, you know, you can joke about these things without
I'm fine with it. But when you cancel one person, because it's a black woman who's doing it, they're not going to cancel her.
Totally.
That's the problem.
You're right. She wears the magic armor. She wears a magic armor so she can do that. Yes, you're right. And both parties do that. Like when you're in our side, like if I made a fat joke about anybody in the world, how dare you from the left? If you make it about Trump or Chris Christie, it's just hysterical.
That's right.
That's what we got to get past.
I know.
That's those independent, what did you call them? Independent and
critical thinkers.
Critical thinkers.
You know, like I tell people, I don't want the lemmings. I want the lions. You know, you can have the lemmings. You got 45% of the country are happy to follow. Sheeple.
Oh, way more than that.
No, I think they just stay on the sidelines. I think they watch what's going on and they're like, these people are fucked up. Let me just stick to my regular life. Politics doesn't affect me anyway. I'm not going to let this toxify my brain space.
Right.
Now, next segment, Bill Maher brings up a good point here. These are two very left people, not super far progressive left like Harris, but very left people. But even Bill Maher says that the left need a more alpha male type like Trump and not like Tim Walz, which I couldn't agree with them more. They spent the last decade demonizing masculinity and men. Now they've totally lost the male vote. Now, I don't want them to ever get it back, so I'm fine with the way they're doing things now, but that would be the wise play. Let's listen to the clip.
There's a couple of times when, I mean, look, I've been his biggest critic for good reason. And when he got reelected, I said, I'm not going to pre-hate anything. And then the first week I said, well, there's lots of things I hate because I do. Okay, there's some things I don't hate also, but the way he can do that and sometimes kind of make me go, oh man, I got to give it up. Like when he did that thing where the guy came in from the Taliban and he said, this is an aerial picture of your house. If during our withdrawal, one American is hurt, just know I know where you live. I was like, oh, can we just play the music now? Because I don't care. It's Donald Trump and he's the worst person ever, blah, blah, blah. I fucking love that. Mm-hmm. One time they were doing something was going on with, and he said, you know what? When you come after New York, you got to go through me. It's like, oh, hometown boy. You know, he has those moments that no other politician has. And the Democrats have to find that guy.
They need a message, and then you find, you find the messenger. No, but that's how it works for Trump.
That's the worst thing. The Democrats always say, message, hear a message. Yeah, first of all, they did, and they don't like it. Second of all, they don't give a shit. It's not about the message. Trump changes his message from day to day. Tariffs everywhere. Tariffs nowhere.
Those are policy
It doesn't matter. But they don't care about policy. They don't understand it. His message is, I'm me, I'm strong, and I'm daddy. You know, they're on this daddy thing, you know, and people want a daddy. You know, Tucker Carlson, that whole thing, you've heard that thing about daddy came home and you need a spanking. And I'm like, this is getting a little weird, Mrs. Robinson. You know, daddy, but you know what? That's what works, and that's what people respond to. They don't know the issues. They don't know the
Yes,
facts,
I
and
agree.
they have no interest in learning about them. They're like an animal. They're instinctive. Like, I smell fear, or I smell alpha, and they smell alpha. And Democrats have to come up with an alpha, and it's not Tim Walz,
No, probably not.
and it's not the other Tim who ran.
Kane?
Tim Kaine. These are not alphas. It's like this thing of like, let's get a woman and then a docile man who's in every commercial where he's the asshole while mom takes care of business. That's not a message that makes the tribe go, who is strong? Who's strong? Who's strong? Tim Walz. No. Org, give me rock. I need to kill myself because Tim Walz. That you gotta appeal to people at a sort of post-civilization stage where we're kind of at on a primal level. You just do. And Trump does it better than anybody.
Trump does.
Now here is a crazy clip, and this summarizes the left very well. Chris Cuomo tells Bill that they unloaded on him after his reaction to the Trump assassination attempt. Listen to this malarkey.
Moment for me, and this was like probably, I don't know, right now is a little bit of a competition with how the Democrats are handling this. But when I heard people on TV suggest that he hadn't been shot at and that the bullet didn't hit him.
Oh, I did that bit in my special. It's so ridiculous.
It was so, I was like, wow, they've really lost the fucking plot. This guy just got shot in the head. I called him. I was so embarrassed by how he handled it.
He did not get shot in the head, Chris. He got nicked in the ear.
Listen, if it was your ear, you'd say, I got shot in the head.
He did not get shot in the head. If he had, this country would probably be in a civil war right now.
I know. Thank God it didn't happen.
Thank God.
But I got to tell you, if it's me and that bullet grazes my ear.
Oh, I agree.
You hear the full story of someone tried to kill me, and you'd never see me again because I would have never continued running. That was way too close. That guy gets up, pumps his fist, bleeding down the side of his head, and the Democrats say maybe it's fake. That's when I think they really lost the plot.
Conspiracy theories are, yes, they're probably worse on the right, but it's not like they're non-existent on the left.
They just hate him.
It's
not as a conspiracy. They just hate him.
They do.
He can't even get shot and get compassion.
Right, that's a great way to put it. He can't even shot. I should have put that in my bit. He can't even shot and get compassion. Right. Yeah, I know. The first thing, it's so funny. You are making me remember. I was on the road that day, and I remember arriving at the hotel. We had flown from the first city. It was the second city on my weekend things that I used to do. And I remember getting out of the car in front of the hotel, and the guy who came to get the bag said, "Did you hear Trump got shot?" I said, "No, we hadn't. It just had happened." I looked on my phone, and I was going to go on stage in 3 hours. And I, wrote a whole thing and also did it on my show Friday that night, that later that week. Like, this is not funny. I'm not laughing at this. Any jokes about what a shame he missed are not what I'm interested in hearing and should not be done. I don't find them funny. I don't find them appropriate. I've been as critical of Donald Trump as anybody. I have standing here. But this is not cool because people were already doing it.
Yeah.
And
they weren't kidding, by the way.
No, and they were not kidding.
There are people who wanted him to die.
If you want better discourse, you can't be part of the problem.
That's right.
So
I'm with you. I called him because I wanted to say, look, he is very familiar with me and what I do and who I am. I said, I am embarrassed that you were treated this way by the media. And I just want you to know, I feel for your family. I don't know how they're letting you stay in the race. And the way you handled that was really impressive. And I hope you're okay, and I wish you well going forward.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I didn't say I wanted him to win because, that was not my interest. And then I start getting attacked. And I'm okay with getting attacked.
You said that personally to him or over the air?
I said it to him personally. And then I said, I'm not asking you any questions. And I'm not going to talk about our conversation. I'm just going to say I reached out for
Right.
this, and, you know, and what he said, he said. But so I start getting attacked. I have no problem getting attacked. I get attacked all the time. I sign up for it. I try to provoke it very often. But this was crazy. Where is your decency? He doesn't deserve decency. Who the fuck
Right.
are you
I
to
couldn't-
say he doesn't deserve decency?
That's exactly why I have the issues I have with the left. That fucking attitude, that fucking bad attitude. Right.
They get to judge you as people.
They're just the.
That's what their politics have
they-
become. My father never did that.
Now let's get to the clip where they talk about Chris Cuomo's brother, Andrew, running for mayor in New York City again, and Bill Maher says that he is doomed because of the nursing home scandal. I think the same thing. I actually think Andrew Cuomo should be in jail, but that's a conversation for another time, and then we'll end it with the clip of Bill talking about going to meet Donald Trump. Let's go.
I think it's great that you're on News Nation. I'm glad you landed somewhere. I'm glad your voice is out there. I'm glad you're talking to the people. I'm glad that you are not quite the reliable lefty you were on CNN. I feel like I trust you the way I hope people trust me, to just call it down the middle, call balls and strikes. I feel you're doing that. I don't think he's going to get past the nursing home thing. I mean, I read the New York papers. When the Times and the Post are both on the same page, it's, I'm sure of course he wasn't trying to do something bad, but just like with the Hegseth thing almost, you kind of have to own, politics is a high wire act. Yeah, like one boner decision can, people go, I'm sorry, I can't trust that guy's judgment. Or they don't. I don't know what the fuck will happen, but I don't think it determines the race. I think he's got a lot.
I do. I think he's got a lot of pressure against him within that party, and they're going to have to make a decision whether they want to be in power or they want to police their own set of beliefs within their party. I mean, that's what they have to decide. What are they about as a party? I'm not a fan of the parties. I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party. I don't think they are my father's party by a long shot.
No.
But
well, they could be.
Andrew's leading in the polls for a reason. It's not name recognition. It's because when people look at their experience living in the city, they believe he's someone who can make it better.
It's also huge name recognition. You're the Cuomos. You're like royalty in New York. Your father was the governor. Your brother was the governor. Come on. Of course it's name recognition.
Right, but they know the controversies also.
Yeah, exactly.
So
people will, and luckily for him, he's got a weak field. Mayor Adams that name is pretty much in the
I don't
mud.
think Trump did him any favors with how that deal was structured. I was happy to hear that the amicus brief, that the person who was brought in to look at it, who's a very legitimate person, said these charges should be dropped. It shouldn't be that, let's see what happens after the election. It's not fair that Trump is trying to keep those hooks in Mayor Adams like that. I know my brother's running against him, but that's how I feel. I think the federal indictment was weak sauce, and I think this deal by Trump was manipulative. And you drop the charges, you don't.
Okay, weak sauce. You talking about the actual thing itself, the deal with Turkey? Well,
yeah.
Right,
it's
agree.
like upgrades.
I agree. I thought the same thing. I'm like, of all the things politicians do, this guy, of all the places, Turkey.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
You're going to meet with the president.
I am?
So Kid Rock makes it happen. What do you think has been the response so far? What do you think it will be, and why are you doing it? Which I'm totally for, by the way, and I love it.
I get it. Well, I'm doing it because, first of all, it was presented as
a dare.
not a dare. No, just like, maybe this is a beginning to heal America. Now, I don't have some sort of complex where I think I can heal America. I can't. Okay, let's get that clear. I'm not going to be healing America. But if two guys who've been at each other for so long, it's kind of a Nixon to China thing. I have the credentials. There was nobody who was harder on Trump or more prescient about the fact that he wasn't going to leave office voluntarily than I was. I feel like I have the credentials. But they also respect me because I'm honest about the woke train to crazy town. And I don't shrink from that. And I've also lost a lot of fans for that. The woke people have left the building, and I'm willing to make that sacrifice. But it does give you a certain credibility. So I just think to meet somebody, first of all, it's an honor to be invited to the White House.
Yes, it is.
And I've already had a couple of people who I said to them, you know, I'm just going to take it as a backhanded compliment that you glide right past the idea that little Bill Maher from Rivervale, New Jersey, just a humble kid from the suburbs, was invited for a private dinner to the White House. You glide right past that to how dare you talk to him, and that you're not impressed by it at all. I'm impressed by it a lot. I'm impressed the fuck out of it. I get to go to the White House, and yes, that is the structure of this dinner, is just let's talk. Let's talk to each other face to face. Let's not stop shouting from 3,000 miles away, you know? So if they expect me to be leaving in a MAGA hat, they're going to be very disappointed, but I know they don't. And I think it's going to be, you know, look, it probably will accomplish very little, but you got to try, man. You got to try.
I love it.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button for your boy. Consider subscribing to the channel. Help it grow, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.